Greetings everyone. Today we are going to discuss our next process, that is monitor and control project work. Monitoring and controlling are critical aspects of project management that ensure a project stay aligned with its plan and objectives. These processes involve continuous tracking, reviewing, and reporting of project activities to identify and address potential issues early. Monitoring is performed throughout the project lifecycle. It includes collecting, measuring, and analyzing data to assess performance, identify trends, and drive process improvements. Continuous monitoring provides the project management team with real-time insights into the project's health and highlights areas needing special attention. Controlling focuses on determining corrective or preventive actions, implementing changes, and following up to confirm that performance issues have been resolved. If a project deviates from its planned schedule or budget, corrective measures such as change requests may be necessary to bring it back on track. These processes run parallel to execution and involve comparing actual work to the project plan. Discrepancies are addressed through necessary adjustments to ensure project objectives are met. The primary outputs of monitoring and controlling include work performance reports, such as status updates, which provide stakeholders with a clear understanding of the project's status. These reports also highlight whether any corrective or preventive actions are needed to maintain progress. Let's see what inputs are required in this particular process. So the first one is project management plan. Monitoring and controlling project work involves looking at all the aspects of the project. Any component of the project management plan may be an input for this process. Next input is project documents. So the first document is assumption log. The assumption log documents assumptions and constraints identified as influencing the project. The second document required for this particular process is basis of estimates. The basis of estimates explains how estimates were developed and serves as a guide for addressing any variances. Cost forecasts. Cost forecasts rely on the project's past performance to assess whether the budget remains within acceptable limits and to identify the need for change requests. The next one is issue log. The issue log tracks and monitors specific issues, assigning responsibility for resolution and establishing target dates for completion. Lesson learned register. The lessons learned register contains insights on effective responses to variances and records corrective and preventive actions for future reference. Milestone list. The milestone list outlines the planned dates for achieving key milestones and helps monitor whether these milestones have been met. Quality reports. Quality reports detail quality management issues, recommend improvements for processes, projects, and products, suggest corrective actions such as rework, defect repair, or inspection, and summarize findings from the quality control process. Risk register. The risk register captures information on threats and opportunities encountered during project execution. Risk report. The risk report provides an overview of the project's overall risks as well as specific details on individual risks. Schedule forecasts. Schedule forecasts analyze past project performance to determine whether timelines are within acceptable limits and to identify the need for change requests. Let's move on to the next input, that is work performance information. Work performance information is derived by analyzing work performance data to understand the project's status and performance. It is generated by comparing raw data collected during project execution with the project management plan, project documents, and other variables. Work performance data gathered through execution reflects metrics such as costs incurred, tasks completed, or resources used. However, for this data to be meaningful, it must be analyzed in context. For example, cost data alone does not indicate project health unless it is compared to the budget, completed work, resource utilization, and the funding schedule. The process of transforming work performance data into actionable insights is carried out through controlling processes such as control scope and control schedule. This ensures that project performance is assessed, against predefined metrics for scope, schedule, budget, and quality as established in the project management plan. By providing context, work performance information helps determine whether the project is on track, highlight variances, and measures the degree of deviation from the plan. When thresholds defined in the project management plan are exceeded, the information serves as the basis for deciding on preventive or corrective actions, ensuring informed decision making and effective project control. The next input is agreements. An agreement is typically a contract between a buyer and a seller that outlines the work to be performed along with the associated terms, conditions, pricing, and penalties. During project execution, the project manager uses the agreement to oversee and monitor the contractor's performance. Enterprise environmental factors are external and internal conditions that affect the way a project is managed. These factors can be positive or negative, and they are outside of the project's team's control. Organizational process assets consists of an organization's plan, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge bases, and are generally divided into processes, procedures, and organizational knowledge. These assets support project managers by streamlining project management tasks. Let's move on and see what tools and techniques are applied on this particular process. First one is expert judgment. Expert judgment involves bringing in experts or subject matter experts to help plan or carry out a process. These experts have specialized knowledge or skills in a specific area, industry, or technology. For example, if you need to create a project charter and are unsure how to start, you can hire an expert to guide you through the process. The second tool is data analysis. Data analysis is the process of systematically collecting, cleaning, transforming, describing, modeling, and interpreting data, usually using statistical techniques to extract meaningful insights and inform decision making. There are several types of data analysis techniques. Let's see what techniques we will be applying here. So the first one is alternative analysis. Alternatives analysis is used to evaluate and select corrective actions or a combination of corrective and preventive actions to address deviations. The second one is cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis helps determine the most cost-effective corrective action to address project deviations. Earned value analysis. Earned value analysis provides a comprehensive view of scope, schedule, and cost performance, offering an integrated perspective on project progress. Root cause analysis. Root cause analysis identifies the underlying reasons for a problem. It is used to pinpoint the causes of deviations and determine the areas the project manager should focus on to meet project objectives. Trend analysis. Trend analysis forecasts future performance based on historical data. It helps anticipate potential schedule delays by identifying trends and alerting the project manager early. This proactive approach allows the team to analyze and address issues before they escalate. The results of trend analysis can guide recommendations for preventive actions if needed. Variance analysis. Variance analysis examines the differences between plan and actual performance, including metrics such as duration, cost, resource utilization, resource rates, and technical performance. In the context of monitor and control project work, variance analysis takes an integrated approach by evaluating cost, time, technical, and resource variances collectively. This provides a holistic view of project performance, enabling the project team to implement appropriate corrective or preventive actions. So these were some of the analysis techniques which we are going to use in this particular process. Next tool and technique is decision making. In many processes, a large amount of data is collected and decisions must be made about how to utilize that information. Decision making is a tool used to select the best course of action to serve the project's need. Let's discuss some of the common techniques used for decision making. First one is voting. Voting is a method used by a group to decide whether to proceed, modify, or reject something. Voting can take several forms: majority, where the decision with the most votes win; unanimity, where everyone agrees; or plurality, where a decision is made even if a majority is not reached. The second one is multi-criteria decision analysis. This technique involves creating a table or matrix that lists various criteria and evaluating options based on those factors. For instance, a project manager might assess team members based on criteria such as availability, experience, education, and cost. Each potential candidate is rated based on these factors to make an informed decision. Autocratic decision making. In this approach, one individual decides on behalf of the entire team without seeking group consensus. The last tool and technique used in this particular process is meetings. Meetings are frequently used throughout the 49 processes and can be held in person or virtually. They often include stakeholders from various areas of the project. Now let's move on and see what are the outputs of this particular process. So the first one is work performance reports. As part of monitoring and controlling the project, reports are generated to track the project's status, including whether it is on schedule and within budget. These reports are often referred to as status reports. The work performance report is the tool used to update stakeholders on the progress of the project. The input for this process is work performance information and the output is the work performance report. This information is compiled, recorded, and distributed in either physical or electronic form to raise awareness and prompt decisions or actions. Work performance reports are essentially representations of work performance data that aim to inform stakeholders, stimulate decision making, and generate actions. These reports are distributed to stakeholders according to the project communication management plan and can include various types of information such as status reports, progress updates, earned value graphs, trend lines, forecasts, reserve burndown charts, defect histograms, contract performance data, and risk summaries. They may be presented in various formats such as dashboards, heat reports, spotlight charts, or other visual tools designed to convey information effectively and drive decision making and action. The next output is change requests. During the process of monitoring and controlling the project manager may identify the need for corrective actions, preventive actions, or defect repairs. For example, if the project is 20% over budget, the project manager would initiate a change request to secure additional funds, that is corrective action. Once a change request is initiated, the project manager follows the perform integrated change control process to obtain approval. Change requests arises from comparing actual performance to planned results and may involve adjustments to the project scope, product scope, quality requirements, or project baselines, schedule, or cost. These requests could also lead to the collection and documentation of new requirements. Changes may affect the project management plan, project documents, or deliverables and must be processed for review and approval through the perform integrated change control process. As you know, there are three types of change requests which we are going to review again. That is, the first one is corrective action. A corrective action is an intentional activity aimed at realigning project performance with the project management plan. Second one is preventive action. Preventive action is an intentional activity designed to ensure future project performance aligns with the project management plan. Defect repair. Defect repair is an intentional activity to modify a product or component that does not meet the required standards. Let's move on to the other output, that is project management plan updates. Any changes to the project management plan are processed through the organization's change control procedure via a change request. Adjustments identified during the monitor and control project work process may impact the overall project management plan and hence project management plan will be updated. The next output is project documents updates. Various project documents may be updated as a result of executing this process. Some of them we are going to discuss below. Cost forecasts. Changes in cost forecasts resulting from this process are documented through cost management procedures. Issue log. New issues that arise from this process are recorded in this issue log. Lesson learned register. The lessons learned register is updated with effective responses to variances as well as corrective and preventive actions. Risk register. Newly identified risks during this process are recorded in this risk register and managed according to risk management procedures. Schedule forecasts. Changes in schedule forecasts as a result of this process are documented during schedule management procedures. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate the time and attention of all my viewers. For those of you preparing for project management exams or certifications, I encourage you to explore my other videos for more in-depth coverage on related topics.